Hello, my name is Torf Jensen. I'm the director of Sailau Film. What has been the feedback for the film? The feedback that we have received has been overwhelmingly positive. After a screening, people walk out of the cinema and you can look at their faces and the eyes are kind of lit up and people are just big smiles. People have told me it was a film made with a lot of heart and respect for the characters. There was a person saying, "I want to go to Papua New Guinea." And there was also someone who said, like, "I'm never gonna go sailing." But overwhelmingly super positive feedback for the film. People love seeing the wild waters around Papua New Guinea. They love to experience the village life. So it's all been really positive. Have you had the opportunity to show the film back in Milne Bay, where your fellow sailors are from? We haven't screened the film Sailau in Papua New Guinea yet, so this is going to be a premiere when we screen it at the Kino and Kunta Festival in Alotau on the 2nd of November. Sanakoli John, who is one of the sailors in the film, he's also a producer in the film. So what I did was that I would send him rough cuts from the film, and he would comment on them and say like, "Oh, we need this," and "Oh, this doesn't work," and so forth, or some things that weren't culturally appropriate. And when it was all done, I've sent it to Justin and Sanakoli, and they have watched it in low resolution and they have approved of it. But this is going to be the first time that the film is actually shown to people in Milne Bay and Papua New Guinea in general. Where can Papua New Guineans access the film for viewing? Sailau will be premiering at the National Kino and Kunta Festival in Alotau on the 2nd of November. And then it'll go to Port Moresby, where it'll be screening at the Pacifica Film Fest, which is on the 10th of November. We're also working with EMTV to put it on national broadcast, and we're also going to make a free version that people can share on their smartphones, but that's next year out in the future. What were the biggest aim you set out for the expedition and where they met? The aims with the expedition first was to tell a contemporary story of Papua New Guinea. And I wanted to do it together with the local people. And that's how I met Justin and Sanakoli and Job, who are starring in the film. And the sailors, Justin and Sanakoli and Job, they set out to make a name for themselves and their families in Alotau. But they realized that, no, this is much bigger than us and our families. This is like a story about all of Papua New Guinea and West Papua. So you'll also see that in the film, that they come to some realizations. So you can say that we went out with one goal, but came back with some even greater achievements. Yeah, we did make a world record and we did make an amazing film, but we also promoted Papua New Guinea to a foreign audience, generating more interest from tourists. And then of course the whole story connected the island and inspired the youth of Papua New Guinea, and not least inspired Justin and Sanakoli to start this canoe building school called Pasana Group. So the biggest lessons from the journey. What I learned from Papua New Guineans was the value of family. Actually, I was so obsessed with just making a world record. While the sailors, they had their families at home, they had their children, they had to leave. I didn't have any children at that time. And then, like, as we traveled, I realized how important those family relations are. And that was really something that that have made me grow as a person, and also met my wife on the trip, and an Australian anthropologist who is the producer on this film, Sophie Pascoe. So that really broadened my ego. And of course it sounds like a cliche, but we also learned that you can actually do much more than you think you can, and you can make do with very little. And I thought that was really beautiful, that this traditional sailing canoe built on knowledge that have been passed down through generations, mixed with some modern materials, actually was capable of creating a world record that inspired the whole island, and not least the youth in Papua New Guinea. I thought that was so beautiful. And I think that Justin, Sanakole and Job and we also learned from each other, of course. I learned about sailing canoes, about reading the water, reading the environment. I guess what the sailors learned from me was how to use a smartphone and go on Facebook. So you should follow Justin and Sanakole and Job on Facebook, and follow Pasana Group, their canoe building school. Lastly, your fellow crew members, what are each of them doing now, and how has the journey impacted outlook lines? There's an ancestor seafaring to consider the journey did stretch their traditional boundaries. The sailors, my crew members, Justin and Sanakole and Job, they're all back in Milne Bay. Job, he is working his garden, and he's also connected to the church. He's a man of strong faith. And Justin and Sanakole, they are working on their own canoe building school called Pasana Group, where they teach young people about traditional seafaring and also about sustainable fishing. And they're actually building a canoe house and school out on their island called Basilaki Island. To summarize it all, we made a world record, but it didn't end there. I wrote the book Saltwater and Spear Tips. I've been speaking all over the world about Justin and Sanakole and our amazing canoe, Tawali Pasana. Justin and Sanakole have started their own canoe building school, Pasana Group, which has connected other Pacific voyaging schools and canoe schools with Papua New Guinea. We've connected researchers and scientists. We've generated tourism. And now we have this amazing film coming out that also helps connect diplomats and businesses as well. And it's just great how that venture keeps growing. And we can't wait to share it with all of you beautiful people in Papua New Guinea. Thanks so much for making this whole journey happen, because we couldn't have done it without all you people. See you soon.